Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Bob Randall and Company Live. That's right, it's Monday, March 4th, 2024. As of right now, it is 3:03 p.m. Central Time. Just for a login there to let everyone know, hey, I know what day it is. And you know who else knows what day it is? This gentleman sitting next to me over here. It's the Randall Shows.
Yes.
Randall, Santa, Checker, Lee.
Yes, it's TGIM, everybody. Welcome, everybody. Great to see everyone. Can't believe it's the fourth show. There we go. My fingers are up there. Fourth show of the year already this year. Welcome, everybody. Great to see you guys logging on. Should be another fun time today. Can't
It's
believe it's
amazing.
Monday already. The week went by so fast.
I know. I said this last week and I'll say it again. It just seemed like we did this show, and here we are back doing it again. So it's okay though.
It's
It
all
keeps
right.
us out of trouble, keeps us
It's
busy, keeps our mind somewhat sharp like a pencil. So hey,
nah. I'm not going that far with mine.
I hear you.
Shiny, but that's about it.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, looks like we got a few folks on with us again today, and
Welcome,
looks like
everybody.
the count's growing over there. Oh my goodness, Eric and Mo is on. Man, where have they been? I know they've been busy. Good to
See
see you
everybody.
guys. Charlie Johnson. We know AJ's on. He's the first one that always speaks up.
Ted Flynn's on. I know
That brothers.
Hutt Brothers on. Bart's on. Good to see you, bye, everybody.
Prostrolo's on. Fantastic, man.
Yeah.
I'll tell you
Thank you.
what.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah. It's a beautiful day here. How's the weather where you're at?
Actually, phenomenal. It got up to 60 degrees today and sunshiny. And oh man, there's got to be a payback somewhere. I'm getting a little bit nervous. We've only had a little bit of snow this year, so I'm kind of getting a little worried what the payback is here. So, but I'm gonna take it every day because it's getting closer to the springtime. So maybe not this year. Maybe it will be an easy winter, like they said. Maybe, please.
Yeah, February and March can be cantankerous. That's for sure.
Oh man, that
Uh,
March can just be. It can just be a roller coaster when it comes up here and snow and cold weather and freezing rain, and then April you think you're out of it up here, and then April can be either beautiful or as April can be, but same thing. Then it can tease you, and I remember here once Mother's Day having snow and sleet and everything on Mother's Day.
I
So
know.
that's why I'm concerned. There's a little payback because we've got too many days of 50 and 60 going on here in early March. So, but we'll
Yes.
see what Mother Nature's going to give us. We'll see.
I was watching the Weather Channel just a little bit ago while I was back there kind of putting myself together for the show, and there is a big, nasty, low pressure system setting off the northern coast of California right now that's going to be sweeping across the country. And the West is going to end up with a lot of snow again, which is good for the western half of the country. They need to keep the Colorado River flowing, keep those lakes as full as they can, and
Didn't they
so
say they were going
good
to get
for
up to
them.
10
We'll wait
feet
and
of
see what.
snow in the
Pardon?
northern elevations of California? 10 feet of snow they were supposed to get a couple days
Yeah.
ago.
Can you imagine what Lake Tahoe looks like? Well, for here we got mild temperatures today. It's only 81, and that will continue through Tuesday with lows mainly in the 50s to middle 60s, depending on what part of North Texas you're in here. We got a large geographical area. Our highs are going to be in the mid to high 80s. So, yeah, it's springtime weather here.
How is
We do
handling the
have
bring a
we do
scary
have a
subject,
chance
but
of
how
rain.
are the fires affecting most of there's some scary fires in Texas. I know,
Oh
like you
yeah.
said, it's a big geographical area, but still there's some scary
Well,
fires going on down there.
the Panhandle east of Amarillo, north of I-40, all the way up to the Canadian River has been ablaze. The uh, containment on a few of the smaller fires has been pretty good. The largest of the large fires, which is, by the way, the largest in Texas history, I heard was only like 15% contained. They've sent fire crews from all across the country, especially in the North Texas, Oklahoma, Southern Oklahoma area. That's been up there helping fight the fire. We've had quite a few from our local area go up there to help fight. They've had the tankers out. They've had the helicopter dropping water on it, and it grew so fast. The wind was so high for 2 days it just spread. And the bad part was here in this part of the country we get a lot of wind shifts, so we had a lot of real strong southern winds one day, and it turned around and got a norther blow through. The wind shifted out of the north, which pushed it back the other direction, and that was why it got out of hand so fast. But they had a new one break out yesterday, pretty close to the largest one there, and so I mean, it's just it's just dry. We just haven't had a lot of moisture here in the north central Texas area. Now, with all that said, this week it's supposed to rain almost every day here. We got a chance for rain and thunderstorms. We even got a chance for large hail. So, like I say, it's that convergence zone between winter and spring, and
Yeah.
boy, we're right in the middle of it right now.
It's crazy what Mother Nature will do when it comes to that kind of stuff. And yeah, wow, wow. Just my prayers to whoever's up in that area to because there's got to be a lot of loss. I heard there's only one lost their life. That's all I heard on the news, but still, that's one too many. And but
Yeah, but the
property and
structures,
land and
yeah,
sad
the land structures it's taken its toll on a lot of structures and the cattle.
cattle.
That's
I heard
big,
is
big cattle country up there, and been a lot of loss of cattle. I seen a post yesterday where people were showing pictures of tractor trailers going down the highway going towards the North Texas area, the North Central Panhandle area, with just rows and rows of hay on it to help feed what livestock is left because the ground is parched. If they had any stockpiles of hay, it burned up. So
yeah, yeah.
really
That
good
would
to,
go first. Yeah, that'd be gone.
see.
Wow.
All right, Randy, are you ready to move along? Let's see what the
Yes.
something burger brings us today.
Sounds like a good one to me. We've got a goodies.
I want
Ready?
extra mayo and cheese on mine.
A lot of drippy cheese and just napkins and I forget the napkins. I'm gonna sleeve.
Here we go. In true fashion of the Bob Randall and Company show, we want to go ahead and throw it over to Randy and let him take this first one on. So,
Yeah,
see how much of a mess.
for the first couple of weeks we've been talking about schools, and there of course there's so many different schools going on through the year, and you've got to pick and choose. We would love to be able to go to them all, but we know we can't. So my question is, what is the major reason you do go to a Santa school, and what do you need and want to get out of that school? What do what is the major reason why you go, and what do you need and want to get out of each whatever school you go to? Is it just fellowship? Is it to learn how to get your hair bleached white? Is it to um, learn how to answer tough questions? Is it to learn how to walk more like Santa or Mrs. Claus? What is the real major reason why you go to a school? And I think they're total necessity. To me, for me, it's a mixture of everything. It's not just one thing to go. Um, so that's where I guess I got to answer. Maybe when you get started, you want specific things you want to learn.
Right.
But now it's like, okay, let's go there because I can learn this, and then of course all the advantages are over here because the fellowship and the connection, and so that just adds to it. So
Such a great question, Randy. And for me, I think it's the same as you. In the beginning, it was to learn how to answer the questions, because we can all throw questions or answers out to the questions, but being on the same page together really helps. I think it helps keep Santa in a realm of what the children are looking for as far as answers go, because there's great common answers to a lot of the questions. But I'm like you, man. The bleaching of the hair has been a big topic. I did a 55-minute presentation with video showing my wife and daughter processing my hair when we were in San Antonio, and I know the ladies didn't get as much from it. I don't think as the guys did because I think more of us guys bleach now or process now. A lot of the ladies are switching to either wigs,
or
hair
natural,
pieces, extensions,
yeah,
or just going natural. And I think natural has really worked well.
yeah,
Uh, In the past, what, 5, 6, 7 years, it seems like more and more ladies are going natural, and I like that look. I really think it's a great look. Who says that Mrs. Claus has to be white hair or silver hair?
Yeah.
It's kind of expected with Santa because it's there in the poems, it's there in the literature, it's there in the teaching. So, but again, I think overall, gosh, man, I get something from everybody, everything, every topic. Even if I've heard the presentation before, each presentation is a little bit different. Sometimes you use different uh, words, descriptive words. So each time you go, it has a little bit more or something different to offer. And if you pay attention and listen really close, you can pick up on a lot of great tips that you can use in your portrayal.
What's the coolest thing is let's say there's a tough question. You talk to 4, 5, 6 different Santas or Mrs. Clauses. There's different answers or
Right.
different responses that it can make, and that's what I think is cool about going to the classes. Is you don't just get one answer, so or you have to follow that script for the rest of your life. You can, wow, I like that, or I can incorporate these two things together. That sounds more like me. I think that's where it's what I love getting out of it because I can it's just mix and match, because of that.
And for me, Randy, in the very beginning, I didn't think much about body language or the way I carried myself
Yeah,
to look like Santa. I was just more into the mental aspect of the answering, the connection with the children, trying to be the best I could be at that side. The business side plays into it behind the scenes, but once you're in front of the children, the business side is not as much of a given that you have to be business wise to talk to the children or listen to their needs. But I think for me, the body language was a big part that after a couple of 3 years, I got to thinking about it and I seen some things that other Santas were doing. And I thought, wow, man, he looks like he walks like Santa. He
yeah,
stands like Santa. He carries himself like Santa. I'll tell you a great example of that. Melissa Lynn, Santa Mel, she can transform herself from a lady posture to a man's posture.
that's right.
And
Yep,
it's so believable. It works. And so I know she's worked hard at her craft to be able to do that, to come across as Santa. And, it's a lesson we could all learn from.
that's for sure. That's why there's so many things to get out of a school. I just everybody's got their own thing that they're looking for, but there's so much to get. So we got Santa Doug and Jen, sorry, says new ideas, new stories, props, not just learning, teaching, but from each other. Same thing we've been saying, learn from each other. That's what things need and want. And I always split those words, need and want. I put those together because we need them to be better at our craft, and we just want to because we want to be better at our craft. Ted here. Hey, Ted. I can never put my finger on one thing, but I always come away with something great. So I go for the mystery and what I'm going to learn. And that's Ted just says I got my ears open and my mind open to learn. And that's where it's such a cool thing about this business is we can and always will learn or should learn in this business. And that's what Ted just said. My mind's wide open. Go for it. Bart says staying ahead of technology, learning storytelling, especially improv, the business side of being Santa, and that's a start part too that we don't really talk about a lot. You brought up a second ago, Bob, about the business side of Santa. That's really not. We learn how to walk, we learn how to answer the questions, but man, it's the it's a holiday business. It's still a business. We need to know how to price. We need to know what our costs are. We need to know how to promote ourselves, and that's all the business side, which is great to learn.
That's more than half of what you have. Half of what you are as Santa or Mrs. Claus is business.
Business,
The other half is performance. And of course, there's a little bit of history mixed in with it. And that also goes in your performance, knowing the history of Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the Christmas, traditions. So I think, when you really look at it, and I think that was what Gordon Bailey's biggest thoughts were going into the industry when he started Sat Bob's was let's teach the business side of it. Let's teach how to do websites, business cards, Let's teach how to do books. Let's teach how to promote. Let's teach all the business aspects, and let's throw in some history and some performance to make it a well-rounded school. And that's what we've always, fell back on as Set Bobs, and will continue in the future.
It's I mean, and so many people forget that part of the business. And there's so many magicians, there's so many other clowns or
Yep.
whatever, regular entertainers that forget that it is a business. So that's a big part of it. Parker Odell says a little bit of everything. I also want to learn more about all the virtual stuff since it has become more prevalent. Not just a question, but the best specs and the text for it. Yeah, that virtual is it's it is a lot to learn above and beyond. It's not just that we talk about the business, then try to sell yourself unless you work for a virtual company, to promote yourself properly, to make it all worthwhile of all your lighting, of all your sound, of all your things that you need to get it just right. That's a totally different. That's a whole new world too. That's learning. Russell, what, did I miss something? We're just asking about what you're looking for majorly in a school and what you need and want to get out of a school is what we're talking about there, Russell. Um, Patrick Moss from Texas. Um, I look for the fellowshipping, the sharing of my talents, and learning new Santa skills. Uh, and then Jeff McMullen. Hello there, everybody. Good to see you, Jeff. On. Thank you for showing up. Um, Mike is from Mike. That was the guest last Tuesday night. Great show as always, Mike. I love listening to you. Typically, I'm interested in learning different perspectives and techniques. That is also the fellowship conversation outside the class. And that I've always said every single time. That's priceless. That just can't even begin to um, put a dollar figure or anything on is that fellowship and that connection. And that's what it is. That's all free connection. That is it. Without a doubt. Hi, Sean. Good to see you. Having a fun time in Florida there, Sean. Is the weather nice? The beach is good. Sean leaves Michigan for Florida. But we're 60, Sean. So, oh well. Uh, it's nice to learn the business stuff, but surrounding myself with great performers helps bring out the best in me, and that's such a great statement, because you want to be learn from the best, so you hang out with the best that go to schools because they're there to develop their craft. It helps develop my creativity, designing my stories and tricks, and that's where I know I've said it a bunch of times too, but that's why you guys should all be proud of yourselves for putting in the time, for putting in the effort, for putting in the money to making our craft better and for making it better for the children and families. That's where you got to be proud of yourself and give yourself a round of applause and everything for that. Jeff McMullen says one of the most overlooked part of the business, IMO, is what percentage of each gig you do set aside for the future props except for wardrobes. And that's true. And that's part of the big part of the business. We don't we don't always put aside, hey, look, we need to take a percentage out each year for because we need to buy a new suit, which is $1,800, $3,000. We need to buy a new pair of boots, $300, $400, $500. And that's what we need to actually make a budget. And it'd be great if we could learn some of those things in a school too. I know it might not fit everybody's, but I think that would be a great thing to learn about. Um, Parker Odell says again, the most overlooked thing in my eyes is taxes. One thing wrong is immediate being audited. Yeah, because we this is a business for a lot of people. We don't. A lot of people don't even know what you can write off, what you can't write off, and that's something that I guess would be a great thing to learn and look forward in a class to figure out. To So we all know that. I mean, these glasses were $20. I can still write them off, because they're for Santa. I guess you buy Sharpies because you do things with a trick. That's all written off. Any of your costumes. I mean, it is limitless the things you can do. Um, so that's another great thing, Parker, to say is I don't think that's probably emphasized enough about the business. So AJ, of course, meeting others, fellowship, and learning all the different topics. And that's we have a great, great span of what people are looking for. And there's so many schools out there that you can learn all those things. And that's where it's just pick the right school for you. They're all across the states. Some incredible instructors. So I'm just curious what you guys need and look forward to in a school. So great answers as always. I just can't thank you enough for all your participation. Um, so did I miss one here?
Yeah, YouTube from
Okay, yeah, I
Sam.
don't. Okay, all right. Um, Using multiple monitors, upgrades myself, watching both programs. WSM, a live preview show can be mind blown.
Or down here.
He has another one under it. Yeah.
Okay. Face to face is still my favorite, but online schools are great reference. So looking up stuff, a real plus for guys being on YouTube. So yeah, it would be great to have. Could you imagine having a school I mean, online all the time, or somehow to do that? It would. I know it would reduce costs for some people. I kind of wonder how interactive it can really be. Totally interactive it can be. We do the probably. I hope the best we can do to get people interacting here on Monday. This is kind of a teaching thing, as far as I'm concerned. Bob, I think feels the
Yeah.
same way. It's part of the teaching thing. So,
Yes, absolutely. And if I may, going back to Jeff McMullen's point about setting aside, uh, that is a topic in the Sat Bob's books about putting back and budgeting, and we even have thanks to Chrissy Kovic, who has simplified uh, that particular segment of the books into a worksheet that allows you to break everything down. If you haven't got to see that or know anything about that, you can reach out to Chrissy and she'll share that worksheet with you. Uh, Back to, and of course, Jeff. Gosh, Jeff, his school teaches you so much and is so well rounded. I think the world of Santa Mac. Can't wait to see him next time around. Also, to Parker's point, again, taxes is something that we cover and in the Set Bob's books and course. For me, I think the most important thing is to find a good tax preparer, someone that you can trust, someone that you can ask the questions to. The gentleman I've been using for years worked for the IRS at one time. He has stayed on top of what is and isn't the tax laws, what can and cannot be.
yeah,
For me, though, he says, categorize it the best you can, staple those pieces together in your receipts, do a spreadsheet if you wish, which I try to do to help simplify things for him for each category. Stick it in an envelope, bring it to me. I'll dump it out on my table. I'll take it all apart and go through it. And let me be the one that puts that burden on myself to make sure that everything that can be deducted is deducted. Everything that is not relevant, that's not going to do you any good, we lay to the side. And, you know, and the good thing is you find a good gentleman like I've got, he charges minimal amount of money for what he does. And that's the key. It's like dry cleaners. Find a good one, stick with them. You get
stick
one
with
that
them.
turns your fur pink, kick him to the side or kick him to the side and find a better one. All right. Is there any others here? Let's see. Looks like
Uh,
Jessica says this is certainly energy you can replace online compared to in person. Certain energy you can replace online compared. Okay. Sean White says, I remember learning a bunch in Lee's class about marketing. I have used Canva ever since. Good point. Charlie Johnson said he uses Canva also, a great program. Bart says Party Pro Manager has helped with that very thing. And Jessica says not. I think she meant to say not up there and left that word out.
Yeah.
All right, Randy.
Very good. Fantastic response.
Good job.
Fantastic. Guys.
Great
Thank you.
information. Hope
Wow.
that helped everyone. Santa Tom made a good point about watching Ed and watching us at the same time. We are on at the same time. Of course, when we started the Monday show and the Tuesday show, we were the only ones on those days. Ed came along and started going head to head. That's fine. I understand it. I get it. That's why we record our stuff. He also has recordings. So you're not going to miss anything. The only thing you do miss is that live interaction. And Tom's figured out a way to do both. He has 2 monitors on each. So fantastic. All right, let's move along to our second question here. I think I'm going to skip the third one today, Randy. We'll bring
Yeah.
it back next week,
Yep.
but let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and jump on the second one here.
Good.
How often do you upgrade your website information and or photos? Do you have customer reviews and do you keep them updated? Part 2, and do you also do the same on your social media business pages? Kind of a 3-tier question there. How often do you upgrade your website information and or photos? Do you have customer reviews and do you keep them updated? And do you also do the same for your social media business pages, which there's a lot of different social media platforms out there now that folks are using. So I included them all by saying social media, not just Facebook. But
Yeah.
I think it's important. I think a lot of us develop that website, we push it off the side, we expect it to perform and give us something back each year. And over time, it gets stagnant, it gets lost, it doesn't get updated and it's not relevant anymore. And it's just sitting there costing us money, to have a host. And so something that each of us should think about. Get in there at springtime. Let's do some house cleaning. Let's change things up and upgrade your stuff. Right, Randy, how about you?
We know we all get new pictures after every holiday season. Take those, and I wish I could say I've done it yet this year, and I haven't. Taken my holiday pictures from last year and changed some old pictures on the site. I haven't, and like Bob said, it just gets to the wayside. You think it's going to perform for you that easy, but it takes work. I do it myself. I use Wix, so I do it all myself to change. But it's just getting started doing it. But it needs to be changed. If it's a different background sound or a different color, if it's definitely a different beginning page picture, definitely upgrade your testimonials or your things. To me, you should do it a couple times a year. I think it would be great, but definitely right after the first year, if you can get to it, which I know I haven't yet this year, because we all have those great new pictures from last season. I'm not saying we always change every year, but we might have a new suit. We might have done a new venue that looks very, very cool. I got this new one where I'm standing in the downtown Birmingham. I got the Birmingham Theater behind me, and I'm standing like this, and it's a great picture. But I haven't put it on there yet. It's just a great promo picture for the area. But it's something that you got to do.
Yeah, and even our look changes. I mean, I can go back to my first year at the mall and look all the way through each year and how much I've evolved in my look and aging and the different things I do with from year to year. Okay, so get into the comments here. Santa Tom up there in Washington says yes, yes, and yes. And then let's see here. Bart
Jessica.
says as needed. Social media all the time. Uh, Jessica Rosa has a great point, and that is that you should try and keep within the season, spring, summer, fall, winter, but do it right after the season update with all your new information, photos, reviews. I think reviews are very important. If you get negative, positive, whatever you want to put on at your site, you do what you want to. And then try to do it again in July. That way you got after and before the season covered. Charlie website and Facebook page as needed. Need to add a review page to my website. That's a great idea, Charlie. As we spoke, I think it's really good. It lets other folks know. I know for me, anytime I buy a product, That's the very first place I go after I see how much it
Reviews.
costs and availability is reviews, because reviews to me, and like so many people say, well, it could be folks that work at that company, or friends, or it could be them posing as someone they're not. But I think if you read down through a lot of the comments, you can decipher the good from the bad and see what negativity, if there is any, positively, the positive comments that come through. So every chance to push positive reviews across multi platforms is a priority. That comes from Bart again. Doug and Jen, almost weekly on website, social media daily. Eric and Mo, the website is updated annually with photos and reviews. Social media is updated weekly to keep viewers updated, encouraged, and informed. Great point. Hal Grant says yes and yes, but fall behind on social media. There's only so many hours in a day. Uh, and of course, the website takes longer to upgrade than it would be with Facebook. Facebook is, pretty fast, pretty simple. So I know it's hard to say how many folks look at your Facebook and hire you, or how many folks look at your website and hire you. But I really think that with Facebook, it's more of a billboard saying, okay, here's where I'm at. These are my sites. Go check out my information. And your website is more of that landing spot where it gives you all that information. It breaks everything down into segments, pictures, reviews, the different pages that you can afford to put up, 5, 6, 10, whatever you get. GoDaddy, some platforms on GoDaddy, you have up to 10 different menu pages. So you can just fill the thing full of all kinds of crazy stuff. Did I miss any, Angela?
Just that other one from Jessica, social media, I try to keep within the seasons, spring, summer, fall, winter.
Yes. And speaking of, Jessica Rosa will have a brand new segment that will get launched tomorrow night on the Tuesday Night Live show. And these are a lot of the things that she will be talking about throughout the season this year. The first Tuesday of every month, she will have a segment, a pre-recorded segment that she is going to put out that will go along these same lines. And in the middle of the month, she'll come back with another small segment. So she's going to be on once a month, have 2 segments a month. We've got our first one loaded up today. I went through it. It's great, great, great information. You don't want to miss tomorrow night. You just don't. And Jessica's new segment called North Star Segments, which is going to be a fantastic addition to Tuesday Night Live.
And there's one more from Sean.
Sean says, I think you have to have a nice balance with posts on social media. I do too. I think it's really 50-50, depending on how many different social media platforms you use, from LinkedIn to, TikTok. And we talked about this in San Antonio, and thanks to Sean and Liz and Betsy, they all got up on the stage, and we had a whole segment done just on that alone. Great, great, great information that was shared there. Patrick Moss says, I totally agree, in part because everyone is not on all social media platforms. Some individuals prefer certain platforms. That is exactly right, Pat. And again, Pat was in San Antonio, so he was beneficiary of the ladies getting on stage and going through the different gens, the different platforms, and how different age groups use different things, and how important it is to be well balanced. So fantastic job.
And you can almost become a full-time job if you're putting something up on that many different platforms.
No doubt.
I mean, it can be very, very, very time consuming.
No doubt.
But probably will pay off in the long run, they say, what you got to put in to get out. So
yes, I agree with that also. All right, Randy, I think that was the last of the comments that I see. I don't think I missed any. So are you ready to let's move along and do our trivia for the day?
It's time to do the trivia.
All right, over to Angela.
Hey everyone, Angela Mack here for Bob, Randyl, and Company Live, the show about nothing. Season 3 of Bob, Randyl, and Company Live is brought to you by santascloset.org, where you can find all your accessories for the discriminating Santa, Mrs. Claus, and the elves. Visit Santa Wade's website at santascloset.org today, where they are known for delivering unique, value-packed Santa and Mrs. Claus accessories since opening in 2004. The goal has always been to provide both a superior customer experience at a tremendous value. Their products are fairly priced, and Santa Wade strives to bring many different products to the Claus community. Visit the website and make your next season a truly special one. This is Angela Mack reminding you all to catch our show every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Thanks for watching. Now let's get back to Bob, Randyl, and Company Live and today's Monday Santa's Closet Trivia.
All right, Randy, after last week, let's see if we can stump them again this week.
See if we can stump them again. No.
Just kidding.
This will be a
I
lot
think this
easier.
one's a little bit easier. There is one stipulation here. We need full address on this if we can get it. If we can't, then we'll take it. But if someone has the full, then, of course, they'll have the advantages. Go ahead, Randy.
All righty. Here's the question, everybody. What is the largest Christmas theme park in the world? And how many years has this event been held? And how many acres does the Santa event space expand over? We need a full address, how many years held, and how many acres. So again, what's the largest Christmas theme park in the world, and how many years has this event been held? How many acres does this event space expand to? And of course, we need the full address of the event, where it's held all the time, how many years it's been held, and of course, the acreage, how big it is. It's kind of crazy.
Hey, a lot of these trivia questions kind of surprise me when I find the answer. This one I didn't expect.
Especially
just,
location.
I was thinking something totally different, I guess, but
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
this answer
especially location.
did not fit into what I thought it was going to. So
Yes, kind of fun. I mean, it interesting to even think that
yes,
doesn't that gets me more than the size and how many years. It's just the location.
yeah,
Fun.
but evidently it works. It's been there for a
It's
while.
been working.
For sure. Boy, AJ's quick on it again. Let's see if he has all the information needed there. We'll let Angela decipher through all that, and we'll reveal the answer and the winner later on in the show. All right. Let's go ahead and get into the ECN.
The ECN.
Yeah. Elf and Chatterbox News.
Oh, it's that time already.
I stumped her.
I'm over here trying to read trivia the question.
Good afternoon and welcome. I'm Noah Lott with Elf and Chatterbox News Report, reporting for the Bob, Randyl and Company live show. Remember, you can catch our live reports every Monday at 3 p.m. Central. Now back over to you guys in the studio for the latest on this breaking news event.
Well, I think I kind of let the cat out of the bag a little bit early on this one, but we did mention Jessica Rose's new segment, North Star, that will be debuting tomorrow night. So, without going back over what I'd already said, like I did say, it is going to be a great segment, a learning, teaching segment, things that a lot of us may not think too deep into, that she goes into a little bit of depth. And so it's going to be a fantastic segment. So we'll start with that. We also want to mention one more time that Tuesday Night Live and the TNL Productions both will be at the ISC 24 in Memphis coming up here in next month, I guess it is. And we'll cover the event. We're going to have two booths that we have secured, and we'll be right across from Spangle the Clown. So find us and see Spangle, or find Spangle and see us. We'll be right there together.
What a great
All
location.
right.
What a great that'll be a great event.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It sounds like there's been a lot of registration going on here at the last minute. the economy the way it is, money is tight with a lot of folks, and so it's hard to plan 6 months or a year ahead of time and put money out, especially not knowing what might happen. And in the case of past events, you either let your money roll over or you get it back. And if you roll it over, you take a chance of losing it, which some folks did. So I think everybody's a little more cautious with signing up early on anything nowadays because of those factors. So, but I think the registration has jumped recently, and it looks like it's going to turn out to be a fantastic event. As always, ISC is always a lot of fun. Okay, so we want to mention 2024 Branson, Missouri, as we always do. Jeff McMullen, our brother that's on with us today, Kringle University. There are still limited seating left, so if you plan on going to see Santa Mac, Mr. Jeff McMullen, Kringle U, and his fantastic keynote instructor presentation he will be doing in Branson this year at School of Santas. Be sure and reach out to Tanya at Branson Ticket and Travel and get your name on the list. Over to you, Randy.
Okay, then of course coming up March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th in Columbus, Ohio is the Master Claus Academy, again with Jeff McMullen. Santa Mac's going to be there teaching, along with Lee Andrews for a day too. There, as of Wednesday, there was 2 tickets left. I think we're down to 1. I think from what I heard Ben say the other day, but we're hoping he's down to 1. But there will be an incredible event down in Columbus, Ohio, March 22nd, 23rd, and 24th. Don't miss that. There is just a seat or 2 left, so don't miss that.
That's right. Jeff is in high demand this year between his Kringle U, all the performing he does during the holiday season, his Santa experience that he has of his own. Very busy man, very busy. All right, so moving along, Set Bob's North Texas 11th annual 2-day classes will be making a move to late summer, early fall this year, 2024, with new location in North Central Texas, north of the Dallas-Fort Worth area, between Dallas-Fort Worth and the Red River, Oklahoma line, trying to serve all the North Texas and Southern Oklahoma areas this year. Date to be announced. We'll get back with you on that as soon as we get everything secure. We just want to go ahead and start mentioning it. So if that's something that appeals to you, you can kind of scratch that date down and save that date or save that event. We don't have a date yet. All right, let's move along to the preview of the TNO upcoming guest shows. Let's start off with tomorrow night, man. March 5th, Russell Hurd. Russell's on with us today. North Texas Santa with years of big box store experience and more. He's worked for Mitchell Allen at various locations, done some really big, cool events. One that was at the Texas State Fair, not this last season, but the season before that he was part of. That was fun, I know. And so it's going to be a fantastic show. Script is pretty much done. Just adding in Jessica's portion today, and it'll be ready to go. And the following week, right now, it's open. We do have some things in the works, but haven't penciled in an exact guest for March 12th. But don't worry, we'll have something going on there. All right, Randy, take it from there.
Then March 19th will be Doug and Jen. They're on today. Thank you for joining us. Indiana Santa and Mrs. Claus, a few years experience. They much to share about being grads at Kringle U from Jeff. So it's always great to have a Santa Mrs. Claus on. I love to hear the connection, how they help each other and everything else, and how Santa's Mrs. Clauses play off each other. It'll be a great show. Go ahead.
With that said, Randy, that's the cool part that they emphasize in speaking with them. Is that them being a married couple, like a lot of performing couples, you do know each other a little bit better than if it's someone that you come together, 2 months out of the year to work with. Over time, you do learn each other if you're performing, as a seasonal couple. But when you live with someone and you've been with them for years, sometimes that really helps play into the Santa Mrs. Claus portion of that. And that's something that they emphasized to me was how well they work with each other, play off each other. And I got to tell you, man, with just a few years experience, they have so much to share, and they are right up our alley because they love sharing everything they can. They are exactly the kind of guests that we've been looking for. When they first contacted them, they said, well, we're not sure if we're good for your show. We've only been doing it a few years. Hey, I don't care if you have or you haven't, you still have things to share. So it's going to be a fantastic show. I'm really looking forward to that one. And of course, they go by Santa Doug and Jen, or Jenny Kringle is what she performs under. But their last name is Vander Wiede, Wiede. I had to ask him how to pronounce that. I didn't want to murder it. But for those who don't know who Doug and Jen are, that's who they are. All right,
Very good.
Randy.
It'll be a great show. Then on the 26th of March, Santa Patrick Moss, Black Santa, just from Houston, Texas. It's always great to hear about diverse and how it's different. I think it's besides being a multi-talented actor and singer and author, he's done so much. Patrick's done so much through the years, which will be a great hearing all those things, not just hearing about Santa, but all the other stuff that we can do on our time. That if we're not Santa, that how we can make a living through the year being entertainers, or things like that. And Patrick has done that for years, especially the author. But I love that idea. That's such a cool thing to hear about.
Yeah, and Pat was in San Antonio, and the one thing that really is cool, he was one of our volunteers who did one of the performance segments for us, and he has such a diverse Santa character that he does, going back to the roots of diversity altogether. And I absolutely love the way he carries himself, he presents himself, the way he speaks is phenomenal. And most of all, the one thing that stood out, I sat right behind him on the boats, on the riverwalk boats, and boy, he got a talented voice. He can sing like nobody's business. And
Lucky.
we had him and Rex Ray sitting right behind me, and I didn't have to sing. I just sat and listened to them. They were so good. I said, "Hey, I'm going to murder this if I do it." But they were really carrying the whole boat, and what a voice the two had together. Their voices fit together really well, and ton of fun. We had fun.
That's such a talent. I wish I could sing. It would just be. I can't carry a tune in a wheelbarrow.
I cannot either.
I got to sing solo, nobody can hear me. It's terrible. It's bad. But
It's funny. I can whistle and I can hum and carry a pretty good note, but I cannot sing to save my soul.
that's a real talent. I got to give thumbs up to people that can play instruments and sing, and we're gonna hear about it on the 26th.
Yeah,
Patrick's going to let us know what he's done. I'm looking forward to
Pat's
that.
got a
It's gonna
lot
be
of
fun.
history. A lot of history. All right, that pretty much covers what we've got lined up for you so far in 2024. I update the page at the top of the Tuesday Night Live show Facebook page with the guest as I get them. So if you're often wondering what date and who is what, they're over there with the episode number. And if you're looking for past episodes, they're also categorized for year to year, first half of the season, second half of the season, episode dates, and what the guests were. That way you can go over to the media tab on our Facebook page. Once you click on that, it drops down, click on videos, and it'll give you a complete history of everything that's logged over there.
Wow.
Or you can go over to YouTube. Don't forget
There's a
YouTube.
lot.
Bob Randall and Company does have a Monday show page of our own over there, or channel as they call it, on YouTube. Our subscriptions are way down compared to Tuesday Night Live. So if you guys have went ahead and subscribed, and they cost nothing. Hey, subscriptions are free all week long. So get over and push that tab. Doesn't cost nothing. It doesn't bother you unless you want notifications. Then you can click on that tab and get notifications. But give us a subscribe and help us out on that channel. Again, Tuesday Night Live has its own channel. The Bob Randall and Company Live Preview Show has its own channel. So go over and check us out. All right, Angela, do we have a trivia winner?
I'm still going through it.
She's still going through it. Okay. All right. So do you have a moment to start Randy's Santa's tips?
I do.
Let's go ahead and jump on the tips and we'll come back to trivia.
Sounds good to me.
2023.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. It
The
is tip
article was
time.
written before Christmas 2023, so that's kind of a stumper.
Got it. Yeah, it's time for learn a few more things that I'm going to kind of take the same avenue as I did last week. Two of the T and S, a trick that we can use as salesmanship throughout the year. It actually is a little trick that actually this one is actually made by, I've showed you this last year, but this was made by Jim Tate, the founder of Maps. He makes these. There also Spangle has a form of these um, on his website to sell. It's a naughty and nice card. It's something that is easy to do. You have a stack of cards. They're a cute little guy. And then, of course, it says naughty and nice, and the boxes are not checked. So you bring this along when you're out seeing children and everything else, and you're looking like Santa, and you want to do something besides just give a coin. You ask the child to sign the card. And they say their name is we'll do it as Bob to make it easier. They sign the card that says naughty and nice on it. There's nothing checked. And then we just take the card out and they hold the card in their hand and you do however you want to do it. You talk about Bernard or your favorite elf and all that. And the elf will let you know if you've been naughty or nice. And of course, you'd play the whole thing up as a routine. And if you buy this from Jim Tate or if you buy this from Spangle, there's a whole pattern and routine goes along with it. Of course, they turn it over and it is checked that they are nice. Even though it was blank before, it's a great little trick to have with you all the time for salesmanship, for selling yourself throughout the year. You don't have to, give out coins or you don't have to give out, Rudolph noses. Keep that in your pocket. It gives a great reaction to the families and to the children. It's something for them to keep. So we're doing two things. You're doing magic. You're getting the magic of Christmas and everything else because magic happens. All of a sudden, it's checked. The nice box is checked that a card they signed, and you're selling yourself. So when it comes to the tips, you're doing two things throughout the year. And of course, I guess we might as well put it as P because then you're performing and you're building your performance skills throughout the year. It just makes it easier. The more and more you do it, the more and more you perform for somebody or that routine or whatever routine, the better we get. So I guess that takes care of three of those things on tips. The tricks, it's a trick. It's magic. It helps the magic of Christmas come alive. P, for performing, and we get better all the time, and then we feel more and more comfortable going up in front of people and maybe, and I shouldn't say butting in, but introducing yourself and showing something, even though we look like Santa. And of course, that's selling yourself. I mean, that's a win-win situation on a little trick like that to keep throughout the year. Again, Jim Tate, the Maps founder, makes those, or Spangle has a different version. It's a little larger, but the same type of concept on his website also. So, but something to have with you all the time. Keep in your pocket, inside pocket, whatever. It's a great way to sell. Besides, you're going to look like like Santa's doing magic, and you're going to make smiles. And that's the bottom line, is to make those smiles. And the child all of a sudden on the nice list, yes, that's a wonderful thing. Now I'm sure you can have them. Jim makes them. We can have the naughty list if you have a separate pack for those. And sometimes if you're doing an adult party, it's kind of fun to do a naughty list, a naughty check. But that is a special order. I know. So, but don't forget, just do something all year long. We can promote ourselves all year long, perform, do the magic, and sell ourselves all year long. Because, like I say every time, there's lots of Santas and Mrs. Clauses out there, and everybody can hire a Santa, but they want to hire you. You want to stand out a little different. So, thank you guys again. What a pleasure. Always my pleasure. And thank you so much for joining us again this Monday. See you soon. Maybe we'll have an answer.
Great job, Randy. Man, that is fantastic. That just again, it's it's easy when you know the answer or you see how the illusion or the trick is done. But man, when you look at it for face value, how did he do that?
Yeah, the children are amazed. The parents, I mean, the grown-ups love it too, because
Uh-huh.
they'll look back and forth. Oh, it wasn't on there before. It's a great thing, and there's two different versions out there, a little different look, but something you can have and you can help sell yourself all year long. It doesn't have to just be a prop during November, December. This you can. I know a lot of Santas do them all year long, and they get a great return out of it. So.
Well, fantastic. Let's Angela, you got time to start the nightcap for me? Okay, we're going to jump on a nightcap, then come back and address the trivia after a nightcap. Be right back. This is a great, another great little book that easy to read. The children love it, especially because of the pictures. Again, in this particular segment of books, the one I have, of course, is Texas. It's specialized for my area, Texas. It has all those different things that you saw in that last graphic that is included in the book. Pictures of Santa flying over these landmarks. So there's, I think it's a 97 different uh, books that specify to regions or states. So if you live in Oklahoma instead of Texas, it says Oklahoma. If you're in
Wow.
Michigan, it says Michigan, and it has all those different geographical or landmarks that Santa flies over, which makes it a really fun book in your area that specializes, directly to where you're at. So again, easy to read, fun. They're readily available on the internet. I've had mine for several years now. I don't remember exactly where I bought it, but I saw it, knew I had to have it. And again, it came out in a hardcover version in October 1st of 2012. Steve Smallman is the author, and Robert Dunn is the illustrator. And he had an illustrating team that helped him on that, which they don't list. They just say, and other illustrators. But fantastic book. Get a chance, get it, use it in your home visits, use it for any occasion where you can have a book. It's a 3 to 5 minute read. Fantastic little segment for you to be able to use.
Very cool how it's customized for each area. I mean, where you're, y- that's really unique. I like that a lot. That's
Yeah, and
always learn something.
one of my slides there, it says, Smoky Mountains or the Rocky Mountains are mentioned in those regions. So again, it helps teach, it helps show the children localized information. So I think it's a great book. I love mine, and easy enough to show the pictures. It's a smaller book, so it's not big like "'Twas the Night Before Christmas." Sometimes it's
Yeah.
kind of hard to deal with because it's a larger book when you try to turn it and show pictures and things. This is more of a one-handed style book, but the illustrations are phenomenal in it. So as you can see on the cover there of the book that I've got that I had listed was pretty cool.
Santa is coming to Texas.
Santa's coming to Texas, y'all. All right, Angela, did you have a chance to catch up on that? Angie,
Um,
are you still going through it?
I'm still going through it. There's so many answers in here.
Participation, boy, I tell you, people are have thrown in so much there. All right, Randy. So what can we look forward to with Santa's tips in the future? Just without giving anything away, what do you got planned coming up?
Well, we've got it's going to be a mixture of everything. I'm going to try to blend a couple letters together to make it, always how one works with the other, kind of like a school. You can learn this and learn that all in the same thing. So it's not just going to learn a trick; it's how to make it worth reason for doing it, um, or just information about how to be a better Santa and remember the smile, remember the twinkle in your eye, and remember why we do this. And so it'll be a little bit of everything. Looking forward to it. It's I left it wide open, so I can do magic. I can do save on anything in tips, which is a lot of fun to do a little bit of everything. So, or why to use it and everything else, and how it's going to help if you and just like it's like rereading that book. Um, that that is that is a great thing for performing. I mean, you perform that book, and that's going to sell you because you are now the Santa of Texas, and you're teaching children that local area. So things like that, it can be used in so many ways.
Yes. And, you know, for the nightcap presentation that we do, if you have a book that you would like for me to highlight, one that you use that you think that would be beneficiary for others to use, send me in a private message the title, the author, and we'll highlight that. I mean, there's so many out there. The possibilities for nightcap is endless, really, as far as books go. So let's stick to the ones that work best for us, the ones that we know are tried and true. So if you've got one and you'd like to share it with me and share with the audience, let me know and we'll highlight it from one of the weeks or upcoming weeks is what I'm trying to say.
I think that crazy clown just showed up.
Probably did. He was trying to call me a while ago, and he should know that we're in the middle of a show. So
Yeah, he'll get a hold of you somehow.
for
Can't get a hold
sure.
of you on
All
the
right.
phone. We'll get a
So
hold of you on the show.
yeah, yeah. Hey, didn't answer. Wait a minute, it's Monday. Oh my gosh, they're in the middle of a show. Yeah, for sure. All righty. Let's see here. Let's kind of go into this trivia question. Gosh, man, every week I think it's a simple question. It turns out to be, no matter how much research I do, there's always something out there that I didn't see or didn't take into consideration.
Got somebody's they're pretty close. Um,
Yeah, and I do got to say now on the years, if you look at the publication date, the number that everybody has given us is before Christmas 2023. So I added that extra year in to get
okay.
the number that I had, and there are a lot of folks that has the number less that one year,
Yeah,
last
less
year.
less let's say that year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so and then there's a couple of other parts that have popped up that has been given as answers. It wasn't the answer we were looking for. Specifically, when I word these, uh, the way that I word these is to trigger a Google search. When you do a Google search, the keywords that I use should pull up what I'm looking for. But that's what I'm saying. For some reason, it don't always work that way. It may be the way it's written into the into Google search. I'm not sure. Anyway, let's go ahead and tell you what we got on the question that we had. What is the largest Christmas theme park in the world, and how many years has this event been held, and how many acres does Santa's event space expand over? Now, in our search, what we got was Santa's Enchanted Forest, 7400 Northwest 87th Avenue, Miami, Florida. That was what Randy was talking about. I'd be surprised at Miami. I mean,
Yeah.
I never would have thought that, number one. The answer I had was 40 years, but I did add the extra year in, taking into consideration 2023. I think everyone else has 39, so 39 would be the answer per the search, per the publication that was brought up. And this thing is more than 36 football fields, 40 acres.
40 acres. 40
40
acres. What all do they put in this area? And where in Miami is there enough space to do that?
That's not underwater.
Yeah. I just don't know where there's 40 acres in Dade County that's available to do that.
I don't know. I don't know. I didn't go that deep into it. I looked for the question. And a lot of times, again, when I do a Google search, it's not always what pops up as a suggestive answer to what I put in there, but the follow-up questions that you get down below, where they'll have 6 or 8 or 10 or 12
Yeah,
other questions that are,
questions below. Yeah.
what about this? What about that? What about this? Sometimes I find the answer in there to be more intriguing than what I can research within the body of the, what I'm looking at. So sometimes I get it that way, which is a little easier for me at times. Anyway,
What are we gonna do? A
we do
stumper
have a
again?
winner
We're
there on
gonna
that one, correct?
Charlie Johnson.
Charlie Johnson, boy,
All
they
right,
got
Charlie.
Charlie. You're going to own santascloset.org before long if you keep this up now, brother. All right, but the bad part is he goes into timeout now.
Yeah, so there we go, Charlie. 30 days timeout.
To the slammer.
It gives everybody a little chance now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, for sure. Now then, we have a dilemma here. Did you see who had the answer to the other one first?
The full answer is going to be Santa Tom.
Santa Tom. That was on.
It was on, he went to Facebook to post it.
That's the one in Indiana. Correct?
I come back up here to it. No, it is College Station, Texas. It's Santa's Wonderland. 18898 Highway 6, College Station, Texas. It is 150
50
acres.
acres down there. Now I know about this because the Lone Star Santas hold. They go down every year between Christmas and New Year's and spend that time at this event in College Station. So I know all about Santa's Wonderland. And so, okay, so what we're going to do here is last week we did not have a winner. I promised to double up this week. So what we're going to do is Santa Tom had the second alternative, first answer to a second alternative. There are some other answers, but I believe that Tom has the first of the ones that does not fall into the category. So Santa Tom, I'm gonna go ahead and award you a win. That'll put you in 30 days time out for the santascloset.org, and I will be sure and get Wade your information as well as Charlie's over and get you something coming out for your trivia win. Now then, let's go ahead and address some of the others that came up in here. Santa's Village Amusement and Water Park, Dundee Avenue in Illinois. It was opened in 1959, 65 years, 230 acres. I mean, none of these came up when I did my search. And that one was given by the Ut Brothers and by Joe Steffen first, and Ut Brothers, and then I believe Jeff Ouellette also had that answer. So again, guys, sorry. It wasn't the one that I had researched and was looking for. So I was looking for a specific answer, and we'll see if we can do better next week.
We'll get to trivia
Randy.
right. No problem. We got the two winners, so we got two winners. Hopefully it'll
What's that, Angela?
I said you need to make it easier.
Oh, she's
Just
telling me.
one little answer, not a whole give me this, give me that, yada yada yada.
The yada yada yada.
no, that gets them all the time. That yada yada yada. That gets
Every
them all
time,
the
won't
time.
it? All right, guys. I'm sorry. Let's see if we can do better next week. Hey, if I make it too simple, AJ's going to win it. Charlie's going to win it right off the bat. So we're trying to make it where other people have a chance to get in there and do a little research and see whose fingers work the fastest and can type.
Well, Charlie's in
Okay.
timeout, so we can put him for a few weeks. But AJ will be the quickest typer in the West.
Yeah, he's got a secret to all that. And I won't
Yeah.
tell, but he does. Yep. Jessica says, laugh out loud, yada, yada. Oh, yeah, and then there's the Pikes Peak, of course, and I know about that is from being a child. It's a smaller park though, but it has been around for a long time. It's 25 acres according to Santa Tom, and I think it was Santa Tom. No, we put that up.
Yes, Senator Tom put that up.
55, 2 acres land, south slopes of the Pikes Peak.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we was up Pikes Peak, what, maybe 10 or 12 years ago, it was still open and still looking good. So you get a chance, go up to Colorado Springs, Pikes Peak. Be sure and check out the Santa's Village or whatever it's called, workshop, Santa's Workshop that they have there is pretty cool. Nostalgic for sure. All right, Randy. Got any questions? Any thoughts?
Just thankful everybody showing up. We're a great group. Always great input. I can't thank everybody enough for all your comments and connections and everything else. That's what makes the show informative and connecting. So I want to thank each and every one of you for doing that. And again, always thank each and every one of you for being a part of it, and it's helping raise our craft and our performance value to our clients. Good job, everybody. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Appreciate you very much. Hope to see you back here next Monday. Same time as always. We'll be here at 3 p.m. Central Time. That's 4 in the East. Gosh, I believe it's like 1 o'clock on the West Coast, isn't it? Which is where Tom is, the reason I mentioned that. All right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you. We will see you next time. And don't forget to come over tomorrow night and check out Russell Hurd, our featured guest on the Tuesday Night Live show. Got a fantastic script put together. Jessica's new segment is going to be something I think we'll talk about quite a bit going forward because she has put so much thought, effort, and research into what she's going to be doing there. Something that we all have asked questions about. She sent me a whole list of topics that she's going to cover throughout the 2024 Tuesday Night Live show season. And I think everything on there is very valuable. Thanks to everyone who showed up today. Hey, see you tomorrow, Eric and Mo says. Good to see everybody. Good night. Good
Good
afternoon.
night, guys. Thank you.
Evenings,
Stay
whatever it
safe.
is for you. See you next time.